Excited every time I come on this show, especially when I have this young man here, which y'all will find out in a few minutes. How's everybody doing tonight? Woo! We're doing good tonight. We have a great show for you tonight, and we will introduce our guests after we have conversation with Kimberley for a minute, okay? So Kimberley, this is Dr. Kimberley over here. We call her Dr. Spiritual Ritual.
Okay.
And this is Dr. Linda over here. We call her sex specialist. She's a special sex.
Okay.
She's been here for 71 years. And still don't know nothing.
She took over after Dr. Ruth passed.
Yeah, Dr. Ruth passed.
You probably don't know Dr. Ruth.
Yeah, Dr. Ruth said she can do it.
She passed her the baton.
So anyway, these are the two, and myself is Elma. I'm the host, not the hoe. Okay.
Host is host.
Okay, so we're excited tonight. We're going to have a good time tonight. So, okay, let's see here. Kimberley, what complaints do you have on Otis?
Let me see. Well, I feel better now after he left the door open for the mosquito to bite me. It's gone down now, so I ain't going to get on him. How about them Cowboys, Otis?
Otis, what you got to say about the Cowboys, Otis?
Otis, wait a minute, let me do it again. How about them Cowboys, Otis? Dang, I don't hear nothing.
You know, Otis is our secret guy.
Well, let me try one more time.
Everybody want to know who Otis is, but tell him, what is he?
How about them Cowboys, Otis? You can't lead a family like that, Otis. You can't lead a family like that.
You can't lead a family, Otis. Otis gets upset if the Cowboys lose, Doctor, okay? And what he'll do, he'll go for the other team. See, and we're not going to have that because we're a Cowboy fan. Who's your favorite?
I'm a Cowboys fan.
Okay, so Otis, now look. Otis, we got 3 Cowboy fans and 1 Raider fan up here.
What you gonna do, Otis?
And we love Raiders because we got to love Linda, okay? But
and the
Otis,
thing is, what I'm trying to teach Otis is that the same thing happened in marriage. Marriage can be down by how many points, Otis? And you can't get mad and switch teams and walk out on your wife because you be in the doghouse. Right. So he's not relating.
She didn't make a touchdown.
He's not relating it.
But Otis want to change teams when the Cowboys lose. But when they win, he's okay.
You can't do that.
So you know what he did to me, Doctor?
What did he do?
He said, I texted him, I said, Otis, what about those Cowboys? Otis had the nerve to send me a dumpster with fire burning. I mean, like, in the dumpster rolling down, like, is the Cowboys burning up or something? I didn't understand that, Otis. And he gonna say, it's just a dumpster on fire. Okay, Otis, I thought he was gonna send me a line trying to eat up a cowboy.
He's trying to say they trash.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to say, and the trash is burning. I don't know, but anyway.
And I keep trying to tell Otis it's about money. We're #1 franchise because the money we make that bag. I don't even think they care if they win. They just keep making it bag. Because we're going to still go out and buy something.
Yeah, we're
going to go buy some cowboy paraphernalia this week. People at the Cowboy Stadium Pro Shop right now buying stuff.
And they're going to be ready for the next game.
Be ready for the next game. We're going to suit up again.
That's right. And I don't know who team he's going to be with. I think they're having a bye week this week, right, Otis?
Yeah, they do.
So who they playing next week, Otis? I mean, after the bye week?
I think it's the 49ers.
It's the 49ers?
I believe so.
Okay, well, Otis going to be for the 49ers. Otis, you ain't going to be for the 49ers? Okay, well, good. Otis going to be a Cowboy. Okay, Otis going to go for the Cowboys, y'all. And I know people be texting me saying, who is Otis? You have to come to the show because I don't want y'all beating up Otis outside. But anyway, we are still Cowboy fans, and we will give you an update on when they come back to play. Hopefully, they'll win.
Yes.
But anyway, we're going to have our scripture walk, or we need some prayer for our Cowboys. They still my boys. I don't care.
They still my boys. We still
all right,
them
Otis,
boys.
give us some good music to do her scripture walk on.
We still them boys.
All righty. Yeah. Okay, our scripture on this show is Philippians 1:6. We always include Christ in our business here. And it says, finish what you start. And tonight you're going to see what this young man is starting, and we're going to finish it with him because he is never going to give up. He's going to keep on going out there pushing so he can do some good work in the community and for our state. So please, never ever give up on your dreams. All right? Thank you, Kimberly, and thank you, Otis, for that beautiful music. Let's see what's going to happen.
I can only do that one time. My knee wouldn't let me do it the second time.
We always like to have fun on this show with Otis. I tell you, we love some Otis. All right, tonight we have a special guest, and we want you all to know this special person because he has a lot to offer, and we're going to find out what he is doing out there and a little bit about himself. I met him at the Stacy Marshall event that, what was it called? I can't think of the name of it. But it was a South Fort Worth luncheon a year ago. I think it was a year ago. And I was so impressed because he and his other co-worker, I think, won an award. Correct. And I was so excited. I said, oh, I got to get him on my show. I got to get him on my show. But I wasn't able to get him on the show then, but I saw him again, and I ran up to him again, and tonight he is on our show, and we're so excited to have him on our show, and that is the only one and only. I'm going to call him Dr. Carlos Walker. Woo! Yeah. All right, everybody get to be a doctor on my show. Okay, that's our honorary doctor. Okay, so you're a doctor for an hour. Okay, all right. Okay, Dr. Carlos Walker. We know, and I like your shirt. I love that because it says you're running for State Representative House.
District 97.
District 97.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I was born and raised here in Fort Worth on the south side.
All right, south side.
Yes. Grew up over by Echo Lake, not too far from here.
Okay.
Yes. Graduated from O.D. Wyatt High School.
All right, O.D. Wyatt.
Yes. I served in the Navy.
Oh, Kim has two sons in the Navy.
Yes, I served in the Navy.
How long did you serve in the Navy?
So a total with school of 6.5 years.
All right, salute you. Yes, thank you for your service.
What ship were you on?
I was not on the ship.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went to the Naval Academy.
Oh,
and,
okay.
And so
you
I ended
Naval
up.
Academy,
Yes.
so you was running things.
I guess I was running things. But, so I was stationed in San Diego.
Okay. He's out in San Diego.
Yes, at 32nd Street.
Okay.
Right.
So I was on shore duty. I got injured playing football, so I skipped the ship part.
Oh, you played football for the Navy?
I did.
Oh,
Wow.
What position did you play?
Take a guess. What do you think?
Quarterback.
No, not quarterback.
Running back.
No, not running back. Although I was recruited to play running back, but I didn't play running back.
Wow.
Take a guess. Take a guess. What would you say? Fullback, not fullback. I actually played safety.
I almost
Yeah,
said
play
safety.
safety.
I
Yeah,
almost
play
played.
safety.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
Yeah, so,
That's
good.
good for
But I
the
was-
Navy. That's
Yeah.
great.
yeah, so
So you didn't have to really get dirty at all. You weren't out to sea or nothing.
so I've been on the ship now. I just wasn't attached to the ship.
You didn't have to go out to sea.
Yeah, so I was on the USS Halliburton.
Okay.
Yes, out of Virginia. And so
That's
yeah,
right.
the ship life, you know, was a small frigate. Ooh, yeah,
tight, it's tight.
yes.
Very
And
tight.
so, you know, just for me, the seasickness was not fun.
okay.
Yes.
So why did you choose the Navy?
So I was a cocky kid, to be honest. So to be honest, I really wanted to go to play football at Texas A&M at that time,
Okay.
back in the 90s. However, when I started getting recruited by West Point, my mom was like,
Oh, West Point.
Wow.
so my mom was like, either you're going to West Point or you're going to the Naval Academy. And so the cocky kid in me, 17 years old,
Okay.
I was like, well, whoever recruit me the hardest, that's where I'm going to go.
Go. And
And
the
so-
Navy did.
Yes, I had the opportunity to have lunch with Roger Staubach.
Oh, look at you.
And so,
Big time.
He's Navy
Yes.
as well.
yes, he is. Yeah, he graduated from the academy. And so I called West Point, my West Point recruit. I said, hey, I had lunch with Roger Staubach. What do you all have to offer? He told me, he said, listen, we're West Point. Either you're coming or you're not.
Ooh,
And so
he was cocky.
yes. So basically, I said I'm going to Navy, and so that's how I ended up choosing Navy.
Oh, that's
Okay.
Yes.
That's awesome.
well, thank you for your service.
That's good.
Yeah, so after serving in the military, I came home. I always wanted to be an educator.
Okay.
So when I was in high school at ODY, my principal, his name was Walter Dansby. And so,
Yes.
Awesome.
yes, and so,
Awesome man.
yes, he inspired me to be an educator.
Okay.
And so when I came back home, I called him up and was like, hey, I want to start teaching. And so I started teaching. At that particular point in time, they didn't have any openings in the district. It was the middle of the school year. And so I was a long-term substitute at Morningside Middle School.
Okay.
And the following year, I became a teacher and a coach at Pascal High School. I was there for 4 years, and then after that, called him up. There was a program. I said, hey, you know, I'm ready to advance my career. And so had the opportunity to be a part of a program where I was working on my master's degree and being an assistant principal at the same time at UNT.
Okay.
And so-
UNT?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. And so I became the assistant principal at ODY High School, where I graduated from. And then from there,
Wow.
I spent 4 years at ODY. And then I came back to Morningside Middle School as the principal. And so I was the principal at Morningside. And then basically we created this program called the Morningside Children's Partnership. I'm not sure if y'all heard of it. But from there, I was promoted to be the principal of Dunbar High School.
All right, Dunbar.
And so,
Look at you.
You're just principling.
Yes.
Principal.
Educator principal. Go
Yes.
ahead.
So from there, I was the principal at Dunbar High School for 3 years, and we basically created the Historic Stop 6 initiative. And so from there, our superintendent at that time, Mr. Dansby, had left. And so Dr. Norris came to me and said, hey, this is your second time doing this initiative. How about we let you do that full time? I said, I would love to do that full time, you know. And so basically 10 years later, I'm still in that position. So it's no longer called the Historic Stop 6 Initiative, it's called the Family Action Center. And so what we do is we provide wraparound services for our students and their families. So we provide behavior and mental health services, bill pay assistance through the city of Fort Worth. Although right now, since COVID, the money's kind of dried up, but we also just go in and support our kids any kind of way we can. For example, we just had a fire last week at Quail Ridge Apartments over on the east
Oh, I
side.
saw that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so 8 families lost their homes.
Yes.
And so we're working with those families, getting the students clothing and everything for those kids. And we're trying to help them find permanent living. Yes. Yes. So that's what we're doing right now.
So when you say wrap around, what does that
Yes.
mean?
So wraparound means our
Embrace.
kids, we embrace the entire family. Basically, when in education starts at home.
Right.
And
That's
so
true.
we have to help the entire family. And so basically, if a kid gets in trouble at school, if they have persistent misbehavior, and there's a referral put out to have the kid evaluated, we also want to talk to the parent to see what's going on in the entire family. A lot of times what we see is that it could be something minor that's impacting the kids. For example, we had a student that we worked with. He was getting in all type of fights, and kids were saying he was stinking and all that type of stuff. We kind of found out their water was off. And so basically we assisted mom with getting the water cut back on.
That's good.
And basically he got some counseling. But once the water was back on, and we didn't see the kid anymore.
That's
you know,
good.
so some of them are that simple, and then we have some that are major. That we had one kid who, 6 years old, was sexually assaulted by another male student, and so that took long-term counseling for that young man.
Right.
Yeah. So, but what we do is we support the entire family. If you want to go back to school, we support you in that aspect, especially for certification. Fort Worth ISD have our adult education program, and so they help people find jobs and get certifications.
That's good.
Yes. If you need glasses, Fort Worth ISD, we have our own eye examination area where
Okay,
we
so
send
where
kids.
can I sign up?
So you got to be a student.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah.
be a student.
You got to be a student. Yes.
Wrap around,
Yeah,
borrow
so-
somebody's kids.
For real.
But yeah,
Is
so
this with all schools or just in certain?
no, this is all school. This isn't Fort Worth ISD. That's with our elementary campuses. As far as the glasses we're talking about. Now, as far as our services, we focus strictly on. I say strictly, but if somebody comes to our door, we're gonna
But
provide
that's
services.
Fort Worth ISD.
This is Fort Worth ISD.
So that's
correct.
all the schools in Fort Worth ISD?
Yes, but
Okay.
my particular department,
Okay.
we were created to serve the Stop 6 area
Okay.
and the
That's
Eastern
what
Hills
I'm
area.
talking about.
So we
Okay.
so basically Dunbar and Eastern Hills schools.
Okay.
Now, Morningside is my adopted school
Okay.
because that's just where I have a lot of connections, and so
Oh, okay.
so we support the families at Morningside Middle School as well.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
So
so-
this is what you're doing now?
This is what I do now for Fort Worth ISD.
Oh,
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So what is your doctorate in?
Educational leadership.
Educational leadership?
Yes, yes. So basically, I did a case study. So we have, I was officed at Young Men's Leadership Academy when we first started our department, and I was the principal at Dunbar High School. So I did a study on how do single-gender schools affect the academic achievement of African-American males, because Young Men's Leadership Academy is actually one of the, it's one of 6 schools nationally that is basically has an A rating for educating African American students, African American males. Yes, and so that school shows that we can learn as
Yeah, we
African American
can.
males.
Yes, yes.
And so I just wanted to do a case study to see why they were performing so well. And so basically, what I learned through my study is that one is teacher expectations. The first thing that happens with those kids when they get in trouble, they're not sent to the office. The teachers actually handle most of their discipline in the classroom.
Really?
Yes,
Is
But-
that a good thing?
that is a good thing.
Oh, it is?
It is a
Okay.
good thing because as a teacher, you want to keep your power.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
when you send them to the office, now you're giving all your power to the administrator.
Okay.
You know, and so
Okay,
when
I
the
can see
kid
that.
gets sent back to your classroom, and they look like now what?
Who's in control now?
Exactly.
Okay.
So, you
Okay,
know,
That's good.
So basically, really as a teacher, we try to encourage them to build those positive relationships.
Okay.
One of the first things I learned when I became a teacher was kids don't know, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care about them.
Damn.
You're not correct. So you have to build those relationships. And if you build positive relationships with your students, it makes a world of a difference.
But why do you think, before we get into your other, why do you think a lot of teachers are leaving the teacher positions now? Why?
Well, it's a couple things. One, as far as the behavior of our students. So things are a lot different now, whereas teachers now, you have to take on the role of parent,
I was just trying to say that.
mentor, of
Yeah.
counselor, because the kids are just coming with so much baggage.
Bringing it to the classroom.
Yes.
Okay.
And so basically, there's really a lot of trauma that these kids are experiencing,
Okay.
and that's not being treated.
And they
And so-
bring it into the classroom.
Correct.
And the teachers have to deal with that.
Correct.
And then they don't even get to teach because they dealing with all this other stuff.
Correct. And then they also, you also have your own stuff, as an
Yeah.
adult.
That's
And
true.
so most teachers work 2 jobs. you know, just because of the pay. And so
And they not getting enough pay out here.
exactly, they're
They're
not.
not getting enough pay.
Correct.
And some of them that I've talked to said that they go into their pockets
Some of
to
them do.
buy supplies and all
Correct.
of this stuff, when the school system should be doing some of that.
Correct. So, you know, our governor, Greg Abbott, has been holding, this year he's withheld funds from our schools because he's trying to get the vouchers passed. And so that has hurt many school districts across the state of Texas because they don't have the proper funding to, you know, fully fund the resources that are needed.
So the vouchers, what can they do with that? Go to another school?
So basically, what he wants to do is he wants to pass vouchers so you can take that voucher and go to a private school. Sounds good, doesn't it? Well, the deal is this. The vouchers is only going to be, let's say if it's 10,000, although I hadn't seen any that's proposed to be higher than 10,000. If you look at our private schools, that won't even cover the tuition for, you know, the lower grade levels as far as pre-K. Pre-K is probably going to cost about $15,000
A year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and then you start talking about high schools closer to from anywhere from $25,000 to $30,000 a year. And so basically, you get this voucher, you still can't afford to go to a private school. You know, so.
Well, what about these ideal schools and all of that? Is
So those
that
are charter
part of-
schools.
Okay, those are charter
Yeah, those
schools.
are public charter schools.
Okay.
Yes, so those are funded the same way a regular public school are funded.
Oh, so what is the difference? I mean, is it because they can choose to go to Idea versus a regular Fort Worth ISD school?
Yes, they have that choice, and
Oh, okay.
so basically, what the vouchers would provide an opportunity for our parents who have put their kids in private school to actually basically get funding to go towards that tuition.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay.
Although they're not saying it that way, they're saying that, you know, you either have to be in public school in order to get it. But if I bring my kid back to public school for, you know, a quick second, I can transfer them out to private school.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so what's the difference between the public and the charter?
So basically,
Are they the same? Are they similar?
so they're similar. The public school and charter schools are very similar. They're funded by the state. Basically, charter schools have boards that could be appointed, whereas your public schools have elected boards.
Yeah.
And so just getting through the board process and getting things, basically the process of governance is a little bit quicker. Actually, not a little bit, it's a lot quicker for charter school than it is for public schools.
Oh,
Yes, so,
yeah.
but they're held to the same standards as a
That's what I
traditional
was
public school.
thinking too, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So in this, what you're running for,
Yes.
tell us about that. What are you running for?
So I'm running for state representative, House District 97. That represents Southwest Fort Worth, Crowley,
That's
Benbrook,
our
and White
area.
Settlement. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so I would love your support. Thank you. Running for a couple reasons. One, it's time for a change in Texas.
Okay, yeah,
I definitely believe that we need to fully fund public education.
okay.
So that's one of the things that's at the top of my list. Also, I have a small farm down in the Hillsborough area,
Okay.
and Texas ranks #1 when it comes to food insecurities. So what that means is we have more people in Texas who can't put food on their tables than any other state in the United
Wow.
States. Yeah, so that's an issue. We're supposed to be an agricultural state,
Yeah,
but we're #1 when it comes to food insecurities.
huh.
So that's a major issue.
You mean for students?
No,
No,
for
this is
everybody.
for
all-
everybody.
yeah, for everybody in the state of Texas.
Some of these people need to stop eating.
And so,
What do you mean food insecurity?
so that means that as far as to being able to afford the food, to being able, as far as to have access to the food, we lag here in Texas behind all other states. That's what that
Getting
means.
food.
Getting food. Yes.
Vegetables and all of that.
Correct.
Stuff, yeah.
Yes. And so,
Not potato chips, you're talking about vegetables.
so I'm talking.
You talking about real food?
Talking about food, and so I would really like for us to get back to our foundation of agriculture here in the state of Texas.
But isn't there a bill or something that they was trying to talk about on agriculture or something about some bill? I'm not too, I just heard something about an agriculture bill or something they was trying to do. Might be, I don't know.
So I'm not sure exactly which bill you're talking about, but I mean there are bills
It's out there.
that are out there. But I really want us as a state
Okay,
to start being a mass producer of our own food.
okay. That we can grow it
that we can
here,
grow here.
have the farms back going
Exactly.
again.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So how would you implement that?
So, for example, right now here in the city of Fort Worth, we have a group called COAC that actually supports urban farming. And so basically you have the opportunity for your city to have ordinances that actually support people growing food within the communities. I know the city of Fort Worth actually passed ordinances where the lots that they own, we could actually grow food on those particular lots. And so for me, actually educating our kids about actually growing food
Right.
is important. You know, if we don't invest in our agricultural system and start producing farmers, then basically as farmers die off, there's nobody to replace them. And so
The food gonna be in a shortage.
exactly.
Yes, it is. It's
I
gonna be
mean,
a shortage.
we were just in a scare, 2 weeks ago when they were talking about shutting down the ports
Yep.
because
that's
most of
true.
our food is imported.
That's right.
You know, and also when we talk about our food, I don't know if y'all seen lately on social media how they're talking about all the chemicals that go into our food.
Food, yeah.
You know, and so that's something else that we need to address, being that we have more chemicals. Like we can't export our food here in the United States because other countries won't take it. You know, and so why is that? You know, because
That's a good question. Why?
they're protecting their people from the chemicals that we put in our food. Exactly. Those chemicals aren't good for you. We wonder why people are obese and have cancer and all these other things is because of the foods that we're eating, you know. And so we have to basically make people aware of that and start investing in making our food healthier, you know.
Because we used to grow our food.
Correct.
I know where I come from in the country, we had farms.
Yeah, we did.
And we grew our food, and we didn't go to the grocery store that much. Everything was coming out the garden.
Correct.
You know, we did all that. They had the animals on there.
Correct.
We had the chickens, the pigs, everything.
Correct.
Came off the farm. But now
Correct.
you go to the grocery. I didn't really know what a grocery store was because we did everything on the at the house.
Correct.
You know?
Correct.
Most everything was. So that's part of what you running? Is that gonna
So
be
that's part
a
of
lot of what you're gonna be?
so that's part of my platform as well, as far as
Okay.
addressing food insecurities.
That's good.
Also, you
Please
know,
don't say taxes. Please.
you say taxes.
Yeah, you don't say.
Well, we do want to address our property taxes.
I know
you
that's
know.
right.
Being that, you know, we need to come up with a real formula as far as to address our property taxes.
So they are high.
Yes.
Yes, they are high.
Yes, they are. And so that's on my agenda as well. Also, our grid, our power grid, you know, we're the only state in this country that's not attached to the national power grid.
That's true.
So we don't have a backup.
Right.
You know, so
We'll be back in the cold like
Exactly.
we were, what, 3 or 4, 5 years
exactly.
ago?
Yes.
It
Hold on, that
was
was about,
freezing.
what, 3-4
That
years
was
ago? wasn't it?
cold.
Yes, it was.
And I mean, no heat in the
Exactly.
house. Look, even the fireplace was screaming. It was like, I'm cold too.
Exactly. So we
That
definitely
was
want to address
horrible.
that. We want to make sure that we have a backup if our system goes down right now. We're just stuck out.
That's right.
So why are we not attached to the national?
That's a good question. Why are we not attached? So, just in the research that I've done, basically, we don't want any regulations. Okay, as far as those that actually are in charge of our power, they have the privilege to charge us whatever they want to charge us. You know, so basically, if you had the choice to charge whatever you wanted to charge, would you want to be regulated?
No.
No.
Exactly. So they fight against it every time somebody tries to bring forward a bill to get us connected, basically.
But during the time when we had that cold, didn't they get fined for not being, we not having electricity? Didn't they get fined?
So there was some fines and stuff that went
Right.
down. However, the amount of money that they're making,
It didn't bother
yeah,
them.
it's a drop in the bucket.
Okay.
Yeah, because electricity is high.
Yes,
Yes,
it
it
is.
I don't care if you go from here to here, it's still high.
Correct.
It's just still high.
Oh,
Correct.
okay.
You know, that's
That's something
a
to
lot.
think about.
Yeah,
Yes,
there's
it
a
is.
lot to think about
Yes.
that's the reason why it's so good for us to vote.
Correct.
We need to go out and vote. But
Correct.
read up on your candidates. See
Correct.
what they're offering, what they're going to do for you. And that's the reason why we have, I call him Dr. Carlos Walk on here tonight.
He is doctor.
So we can, well, he is a doctor.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm sorry. He is a doctor. He's a double doctor now because he's a doctor on the show and he's a doctor in real life.
Right.
So, but we're going to pause and have our fashion by Kimberly.
man, just
and
when I
then
get
we're going to
relaxed.
come back. She always say that. We're gonna, and we're going to come back and have some more questions for Dr. Carlos Walker.
Amen.
What music you going to get?
Oh, yeah.
All right, this is Fashion by Kimberly. She has a beautiful purse right there. I love that purse. And her boots have talking on. They talk for you. It's called Warrior. Because she is a warrior. She's going to fight for those that go out and vote.
Warrior
A
woman.
warrior for voting, okay? And then she has on these beautiful, what you call these? Yeah, camouflage pants. And I like the design on them. Those little look like diamonds or whatever. She's so rich with these pants. And the shirt is so beautiful. I love the way the shirt is.
So Chanel,
All of that good stuff right there. And her phone is calling me. But anyway, I love the little signal on her shirt. It is so beautiful. And the glasses
Great job,
match
Kimberly.
as well.
Great job.
And we love when she does her fashion by Kimberly. Thank you, Kimberly, for her fashion. And Kimberly designs her own put together. Nobody can put together an outfit like Kimberly. So that's our asset to this show. So if y'all want to know how to put it together, stay tuned every Monday and Thursday for Fashion by Kimberly. Thank you, Kimberly. We love when you fashion. Now, getting back into Dr. Carlos Walker business and why he is running for House Representative, what is it? State Representative, House District 97. Okay, tell us a little bit more why you're running again for this position.
Okay, so also let's continue to go on.
Okay, that's
So let's talk about health care.
Oh, yes.
So
Yes.
the state of Texas, actually, our governor, he basically refused to expand our health care services.
Okay.
He's turned back, when I say millions, I know at least over $200 million in medical insurance
Wow.
for Texans, being that he feels like it's a form of welfare, getting insurance from the federal government. I mean, but we have people that are in need.
Yeah.
And so we need to make sure that we're expanding our Medicaid services for
That's true.
for our citizens.
And what about people that are paying into the insurance and all of that? Is that part of that too?
So you
Like
t-
on my job, they take out money for insurance.
Correct. So that's your private insurance.
Okay.
So we're
But what
talking about
you're talking about what's in insurance.
correct. So we're talking about Medicaid. So we're talking
Okay,
about
Medicaid.
Medicaid.
correct. Yeah.
Is Medicare into that too? Medicare
So-
or Medicaid?
Medicaid.
Okay,
Medicaid
Medicaid.
services. Yes.
Okay.
So basically, we need to expand our health care services.
Okay.
We have so many things to address. We just have to take it one step at a time.
Okay.
But if you look at our foster care system here in Texas,
Yes.
that's an issue as well. When it comes to mental health services,
Oh, yes.
that's an issue as well.
Okay.
When it comes to women's rights, productive rights, that's an issue as well.
Right.
And so there's just so much to address. And those are the reasons why I'm running, to basically be a force for people.
And you know what, Dr. Carlos, I think too, a lot of people, they don't want to vote until it's presidential.
Correct.
But I think it's so important for you all to get in there.
Let's talk about
And,
that.
yeah, that's another thing. Why is it that, we'll wait till the president, but we're not thinking about the people that need to, handle the
local
stuff that's
business.
going
Correct.
in.
Local.
We don't worry about that.
Correct.
We just trying to get to we got to vote for the president and all
Correct.
this. But we need to really think about our state representatives and all these that make up
Correct.
for our state.
So let's talk about that. So,
Yes.
when you talk about the presidency, there's a lot of dollars thrown into advertising for that.
Yes, yes.
And so basically,
yes.
you know, when it comes time for elections, all the campaigns are ran, so, you know, all the commercials on the campaigning, and so that's what people see.
Right.
So they don't really see us local people that are trying
They
to
don't.
run. So all they focus on, they fixate on the president, you know.
What
and
they gonna do for us? But
Correct.
it take you all too.
so the
Yeah.
president, you know, unless you go to a convention or something, you'll never see in your neighborhood.
No, you're not.
You know.
That's true. You're
However, your city council person, your state representatives, your commissioners, your school board reps, those are people that live in your community that
and
you will
those are
see.
the ones we can call.
And those are the ones you can call.
That's right.
You know.
They may not answer, but
Yeah, they
you
don't
can
know.
call.
We
We
can
try to
still
be
call.
Marvin Weed
Correct.
when they see.
But you can go to a board meeting and you
Meeting.
can see them face to face.
You sure can.
And you can make public comments and say, hey, I've been trying to contact you, you know.
And you
So-
haven't been responding back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so you have that opportunity to do that.
Yes.
Let's talk about as far as why it's important to vote for your local elections.
Let's do that.
So just to give you a quick example, the city of Fort Worth City Council was considering putting an ordinance in, a cruising ordinance for 7th Street area.
Okay.
And so basically the ordinance would have been for if you basically circle the block a couple times, the police would have the right to pull you over for cruising, you know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so as a citizen, you know, you get the opportunity to elect who makes those type of decisions and have your input on, you know, who makes those decisions.
Okay.
But not only that, let's talk about our judges, because those are elected positions as well.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah.
so you have the opportunity to say who that judge is going to be that you go before. So, you know, if you get a traffic ticket, you got to go to court. So guess what? You can also decide on, hey, you know what? Last time I went to court, that person there was not so nice for no particular
gonna vote
reason.
for
So, exactly. So,
I'm
you
not
know,
going to vote for him.
exactly.
That's true.
You know,
Yeah.
and you have to think about it when it comes to the power, the collective power of voting. You know,
Yes.
when you think about, my vote don't count, your
Thank
vote
you.
does count.
Yes, it
you know,
does count.
Because, you know, if we get, 5 people, 10 people, 15 people,
Yes.
our neighbors, 20,
Yes.
30, 200,
Yes.
300, 3,000, 4,000 people to go vote.
Vote. Come
You
on
know,
now, say it.
and we all go as a collective unit on who we're going to vote for. Now you have the control.
That's
you know,
right.
and so now this is a personal opinion.
Okay.
I think that's why there's not a lot of education on, voting, because those that have been in power, they like being in power. So if you don't show up, guess what?
They stay in
They
power.
stay in power.
That's
you know.
right.
Right, they stay
That's
in power.
right. They stay in
And this is a red state anyway.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So,
And so
that-
it's,
that-
but
that's
it's turning. It's
It's
turning.
turning, yeah.
It's turning. If you look at the last couple of elections, we're looking more purple. We're looking more purple. And so Tarrant County is the last urban stronghold for the Republican Party. And so once we turn Tarrant County blue, Texas is probably going to go blue as well
I
as the
would
state.
love to see that.
But we have to get people engaged, and people have to get out and vote. You have to do your research on the candidates to make sure you know who you're voting for and what you're voting for and what they represent. Are they just now, becoming active and trying to run for something, or have they been working in the community for years? So I can honestly say myself, I've been working in the community for years. This is just, it's a part of my pedigree and who I am. One, I love people, and two, this is just what God's purpose is for me to be working for people.
So why do you think people do not vote?
I think the miseducation of understanding the power of the vote.
Okay.
I think that, most people feel like their vote doesn't count, that, it's not going to make a difference. Because they look at the electoral college and they like, well, there's an
Right.
electoral college, so I'm voting for somebody else to go put in the vote. But like we talked about earlier, the local elections, that's where your vote is 1-to-1. For my race, basically, we had about 6,000 votes cast, a little over 6,000 votes cast in our race. So that's not a lot of people that's making decisions on who's actually going to hold these positions. So you really, have to understand the power of the local vote. And I think that's where people don't understand.
And the
they,
power
correct. And they have to be educated And I think that once they get engaged and see that, hey, wait a minute, we actually can make a difference. We can actually hold candidates accountable, and we can actually go down and speak at our, board meetings. We can speak at city council.
Yeah.
And if our state representative is not being responsive, we can vote them out,
Oh, okay.
And so I think that once people understand the power of the vote, because everything is based on policy. So,
Yes.
the policy, the law says that you can't drive over this miles an hour. Well, there's people that make that law.
Yes, you're right.
And so
you're right.
you have the right to elect those people who represent you.
Right.
And if they're not representing your voice, then you have the right and the power
That's
to
right.
vote them out.
Okay, we have a thing in the audience. Yes, sir.
Well, I know some lot of people do not realize still, it's more important, I think, to vote for the representatives in our state senate than it is for the president, because they can override his decisions.
Correct.
And like you say, voting for the representatives in the senate, our vote counts for the one we vote for.
Correct.
Whereas for president, not necessarily.
Correct.
So if we really want to have our choice be spoken for, we need to pay more attention to the state
local.
representatives and the Senate.
Yes.
The
Absolutely.
local people.
That is totally true. And that's right. When you talk about as far as how, like you said, federal laws are made, but then there's also state laws.
Right. there
So-
you
And
go.
so the
So
state
what-
laws are what govern us here in Texas.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back to the train back
Yes,
up.
ma'am.
Okay, so you said that's totally true. So in other words, we don't have to vote for the president of the United States this year.
I wouldn't say don't vote for the president.
No, no.
No, I'm not saying that.
okay.
No. That's not what we're saying. No, that's not what we're saying, because that has an impact. So we definitely
Yes,
need
it
to vote
does.
for the president. However, what happens is, so decisions are made at the federal level.
Right.
Okay, but there's also decisions made at the state level.
Level.
Right.
And then just recently, this past legislation, they made it to where they took a lot of local control away at the state level from the local level by saying that, hey, if we pass something here, y'all don't have the right to make it more lenient at your local levels. So the state level plays a major role, whereas the federal will pass something, and it's up to the state on which part of the laws they want to implement and how lenient they want to be. Where the state of Texas say, no, we're not playing those games with you. So, you're going to definitely have to make sure that you're following state law.
Okay, so how are you putting yourself out there?
So basically, I'm doing things like this. I'm on social media. I'm talking to people just out in the city. So just really trying to have my face seen. It helps that I have been in the community for a while, and being an educator helps as well. That some of my students are now grown,
And they
so
can
they
vote.
can vote.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's right.
and just being kind to people. People remember how you treated them.
That's right.
And so people that, I've come across my path that believe in me, they're telling other people about me as well. And so just really trying to make a difference that way.
That is good, but when I turned 18, so many,
That's been years ago.
so many years ago,
Many.
I made it a promise to my mom that I would vote. Because, see, I was raised in the era where you get hoes and people got hung and all that for the vote, and you had to walk to a colored water fountain or a colored,
Correct.
and people carry each other to the polls.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so I can't understand, I can't fathom why people do not want to vote, especially people of color. I don't understand that. Because, although if blacks got killed, whites got killed as well,
Correct. Correct.
So my thing is, I'm going to vote. If it's for a dog, if it's a
Woof,
German
woof.
Shepherd or a pit bull, I'm going to vote for the pit.
Correct.
So, but I'm going to vote.
Right.
And I'm going to read up on that person
Correct.
to see, where he stands.
Correct.
And I think everybody need to have education on that part.
I do too.
Correct.
But also, I'm not going to just vote straight Democrat. I'm going to pull it down and check each box.
Correct.
Because I think that if they think enough of themselves to be on that box, I'm not going to just single you out by being a Democrat.
Correct.
But I believe in voting. I always have and I always will. But I have issues with some of my family members that, you know, they're not gonna vote. But I said, well, if you don't vote, that means the ballot goes to the other person. You know.
Correct.
So we need to really stop and think.
And think about it.
Think about,
Correct.
you know, what we are allowing the state of Texas to do to us.
Correct.
You know.
And I think if we turn it back to local elections like we're talking about now, people will become more engaged because they will realize the power of their vote.
Right.
Also, a lot of people that I talk to, they don't vote because they don't know the candidates. You know, they don't know as far as,
And that's true.
you know,
Some
I don't know who to vote for. You
Right.
know, why am I voting for this person? You know, and
Read up on it.
correct.
But they don't
Correct.
do that. You know they don't
I
do
know
that.
they don't.
But I think, you know,
lot of them don't.
having these conversations and getting people to understand exactly what you're talking about as far as the importance of doing your own research. But I think a lot of people don't understand what is the value of me voting is a big concern for some people because they don't understand that
But they
it
done
plays a
heard
part.
it. They done heard it over and over.
Correct.
My vote doesn't count.
Correct.
A lot of them have heard that.
Correct.
And they hear it over and over. Well, they gonna put in office who they wanna put
Correct.
in office.
Correct.
You done heard that. And
Yes.
the younger generation may done heard that too.
Correct.
So they said, well, why should I vote? But we're
Correct.
trying to bring in the young people
Yes.
to research. Get out there. Y'all have the power to vote.
Correct.
You 18, you can vote at 18,
Yes,
right?
that's
So
correct.
y'all have the power to vote, and you ought to feel good. Every time I was so happy when my sons was able to vote. I was so happy that we could go and show them, and I would print out who on that ballot, and I would go through there and research it and everything, and show them this is how you vote, you know, and read up on it. But I was so happy when they was able to go out and vote.
Correct.
And that's what we're stressing. Young people, y'all read, research, get off of that TikTok and all that and research. Go out there and vote and make your vote count. Now, why should we vote for you, Dr. Carlos? Why should we vote for you?
So I want to address the TikTok comment because
Okay, go
actually they can learn about voting on TikTok.
That's
now.
right, you sure can.
Yeah, so they can learn about voting on TikTok.
TikTok, Facebook, YouTube,
exactly.
it's all on there.
Exactly.
Vote.
So I would say, you know, now me personally, do your research on me to make sure
Right.
that I'm your candidate.
Okay.
But if you believe in public education, I'm your candidate.
Yes.
If you believe that we should grow our own food as far as the
Yes.
agricultural system here in Texas, I'm your candidate. If you believe that you should have the right as a woman to make your own decisions, I'm your candidate.
I know that's right about my body, yeah.
Exactly. If you want your grid connected to the national grid, I'm your candidate.
'Cause I don't want to be cold no more.
Me either.
Exactly.
I don't.
If you believe that we should be investing in mental health services,
Yes.
Oh,
I'm your
most
candidate.
Please,
you know.
Jesus, we need
So,
that.
so there's a lot that, and also if you want somebody that's going to listen to you,
Right.
that's open-minded to what you have to
Yes.
say, regardless if you're a Democrat or a Republican, you know, your voice needs to be heard.
That's
because as your
right.
representative, I still represent you.
That's right.
And so, although we may differ in certain opinions, but I still want to, there's still value in what you have to say.
Right.
And it gives me something to think about because at the end of the day, I like knowing both sides. I don't want to just be like, I don't want to hear that. No, I want to hear that.
Yeah,
'Cause there
you
may
need-
be-
we need to
exactly,
know, yeah.
Exactly, yes.
We
So
need
there
to
may be
know.
some validity in what you're saying that I need to understand. You know, so I'm a person that's open-minded and here to work for people. I don't believe that we should put politics first. We have to put people first, you
Right.
know.
I believe that.
And so that's my belief and that's what I stand on.
Okay. Good.
Okay, so you got elected. So I'm having an issue in Fort Worth, Texas. Zip code 76134, because you're in my district. I call your office. Well, he's out of town right now, but I'll take a message and I will give it to him. Okay. So
We'll
I
see.
wait
Okay.
2 weeks. Okay, he must still be out of town. Call again. He's out of town. Okay, ma'am, you told me that last week. So how do I get in touch with this person that I helped elect?
Correct.
Good question.
So,
So-
how would I get in touch with this person that I helped elect?
So one, I keep solution-oriented people around me on my team, even now in Fort Worth ISD. So basically, if it's an issue that needs to be addressed right away, if they know me, they're gonna address your issue, and they're gonna tell me how they addressed it. Or if it's something they can't address, they're gonna call me and let me know that, hey, these are the people that you need to talk to and the issues that we need to address. So right now, just being honest, that this is what I do now for Fort Worth ISD, as far as when it comes to helping people. You know, we as a team, we actually work together to see how we're gonna, you know, because I can't do everything by myself.
That's right.
You know, I'm only one person. However, I have to have a team around me who's supportive
That's right.
and that put people first as well. You know, so basically, if I got to do everything, what I need them for,
That's true.
you know.
And I have one more
like that.
question.
I like
Just
that.
one more question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the rent increase.
Yes.
Do y'all address
Well,
that?
do you address that?
So it's not the rent per se that we address. We address the property taxes that basically that the homeowners have to pay.
Oh, okay.
And so basically, because basically people can charge what they want to charge when it comes to rent. As far as if it's my property, I'm owning their property, and I say that I want to charge, you know, $4,000 a month, although it may be worth $2,000 a month, or may be worth $500 a month. Either you're gonna pay it or you're not. You know,
Deemed necessary.
Exactly, correct. So, but basically, things that we can do, as far as and we will focus on, is the property taxes that they have to pay. So hopefully, you know, if they're not paying as much, they won't be charging as much as far as the rent. But when it comes to affordable housing, as far as when it comes to, you know, working, like I'm on the board for Forward Housing Solutions, and so they provide affordable housing. And so making it to where it's easier, accessible to have affordable housing, and making it more attractive for the city to provide affordable housing, those are things that we can address. But as far as when it comes to an individual homeowner that's putting their house up for rent, we can't put any stipulations on how much they can charge.
Oh,
That's good. All righty.
Well,
We know
answer
our
that
time is
question.
getting up and out. And what would you say to the audience tonight before we leave? What would you tell them?
So I would definitely say, if you're not registered to vote, you need to register to vote, although you will not be able to participate in this particular election this time around.
Right.
However, there's still other elections that are going to happen. You have a school board election as well as a city council election that's going to be taking place in May, and you will be able to participate in that particular election. If you are a registered voter, you need to exercise your right to vote.
Yes.
Like has been said, people have died for that.
That's right.
And so, but we want you to be educated on your decision on who you vote for. There are all types of, I mean, if you just Google the candidate's name,
That's
the
right.
information is going to pop up about that candidate where you can see what that candidate's platform
true.
is. And so it's really not hard anymore as far as find out about candidates. So definitely make sure you do your homework, but make sure you vote. Early voting
That's it.
starts October the 21st, which is next Monday.
That's
A
right.
week from the day.
That's right.
And it ends on
I will
November
be voting.
1st, okay?
That's right.
With election day being on November the 5th.
Right.
So make sure that you cast your vote. I know that people, you know, hearing all about the president and all that type of stuff, vote for the president, but also vote all the way down that ballot to the last
That's right.
person. You have judges that are on this ballot this time around. We have a sheriff that's on the ballot this time around. And so if you've been keeping up what's going on in Tarrant County and all the deaths that has happened in our jails, you should definitely make sure that you're paying attention to that sheriff's race. I definitely would like to solicit your support. My name is Dr. Carlos Walker. You can find more information about me by, one, just Googling my name, Carlos Walker. There's all type of information about me. But as far as about my platform, my website is carloswalker.com. So look me up and you can make comments. You can send me messages. Now, if you send me a message, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't always check my Facebook right away. I'm trying to get better at that. But I will respond once I see your
He
your
will
message,
respond.
You know? So just get out and do your
That's
civic
right.
duty.
Do it.
In the words of Judge Clifford Davis. Thank you.
All right.
And what is he running for? What you running
I'm
for?
running for State Representative, House District 97, which represents Crowley, Southwest Fort Worth, Benbrook, and White Settlement.
All right. And if you all live in that area, you definitely need to go out and vote for him.
Right.
Yes, what was your question?
I was going to ask about family.
Yes.
Are you married?
I am married. I have 4 kids,
My
and I'm a grandfather.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, yeah, my,
You too young to be
You
a
are.
grandfather.
that's what I said. You know, I don't know what they were thinking.
What do they call you?
Yes. So actually, she's only 5 months old.
Okay, but what
Yeah,
you
so-
want her to call you then?
I'm still working on that. I got a couple more months, so I'm still working on that.
Grandpappy,
Congrats.
Grandpappy, Granddaddy.
I don't know yet.
GP.
Still working on that part.
Still working on that. Give a shout out to your wife.
Yes, I would definitely like to give a shout out to my wife. Her name is Nakisha Walker.
Hi, Lakeisha.
Hey, baby.
All right.
Yes,
And your
yes, yes.
children?
My children. So my oldest is Christopher.
Okay.
Christopher, he's my iron sharpens iron kid.
All right.
You know,
Go
because if I
ahead.
say the sky is blue, he's gonna be like, no, it's light blue. It ain't just blue.
Blue, huh?
You know. Xavier, she's my oldest daughter.
Okay.
She's the kid who I don't do anything wrong, so y'all should give me everything that I asked for. That was
She's
her
a good
growing
one.
up.
Okay, that's a
Yes.
good one.
And then Cortland was my rebel growing up.
Okay.
She followed my footsteps going into education. Proud of all of them. And then my youngest is Carlos. And so Carlos is the Marine.
Okay, he's
Yeah,
the
so
Marine.
he's the
All
one
right,
that,
all right.
Yeah, he's the one that made me the grandpa.
Okay. All right, Marine. Hats off to the Marine.
Okay,
All
so
right.
how many cowboy hats do you have? I see you got them on in here.
Yeah, I got 7. I left it in the car. I wasn't going to bring it in, but
Yeah, you gotta go get your cowboy hat out.
yes, I got about 5 or 6 of them.
I like that black
Kimberly
one.
done looked him up already.
Oh, I did as well.
Yeah. Oh, Linda looked him up. But we really appreciate you because some people don't take the time out to want to share, and I really appreciate you for coming to be on the show to let the people know who you are. Y'all see his face, so y'all go out and vote for him. You seeing his signs out there, and we really appreciate you stopping by because we want people to come on this show to talk about what they're going to do for us when we vote for them. So please, you all, go out and vote.
Yes.
Early voting again is October the 21st, and November the 1st, and then election day is November the 5th. Don't put it off and say, I'm gonna wait for election day. Go ahead and do early voting so you don't have to worry about that, because we never know how the weather gonna be. So we don't want that to be a stumbling block. So
sure
go,
don't.
Dr. Carlos Walker, we're so happy.
Yes, we
And
are.
I am really so proud of you for running, and you got my vote. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and end this show with our T-shirt. Come on up here with us, Doctor. With our T-shirts and everything, so everybody will be able to see what we also offer on this show. That's your radio thing right there.
Hey, and she gon' run it up. She gon' run it up.
Come on right here, Doc. We gotta let people see you. I like that shirt. That is really nice right there. See, if you had known my son first, he would have made all those shirts for you. He makes all these shirts here, and you can walk down there. So follow Kim. See, Kim know how to do it. See, all these are just different designs. Go on down there, do your thing, Doctor. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, see, Jerome, we got another one can dance on the show. All right, okay, now this one is our hoodie here. It's called Natural. This was custom made. This is a Raider shirt. Our Cowboys are so popular, they didn't let us have none. You know, all our Cowboys hoodies are sold. But anyway, all of these are designed by the CEO and executive producer of this show, Emmanuel. But if you want us to design a special t-shirt or a hoodie or whatever for you, www.KurtInspirations.com. All of his t-shirts are inspired by you, and he can put them together. Family reunion, whatever you want, class reunion, whatever t-shirt, he specially designed them. You send the design in, and he can make that t-shirt for you. That's how gifted he is. Also, not only that, you'll see in a few minutes, we have the best photo booth ever. Okay? And it's on the www.thekirkbooth.com. We have so many Kirks in there. But check us out. We have Kirk booths of all forms and fashions. We can lease it. You can rent it. You can get black and white. We have roll around photo booth that can roll around to different rooms. We can set it up for you. We have photo booth attendants that can come to your place of business, your function, and we let you have the fun. Because we run it for you. And what's so good about it, we can put your pictures on prompts. We can design a special prop just for you. And we put props on there just for your special occasion. And you get to sit back and relax. And then at the end, we send you all the pictures. So you get to see who was taking pictures at your event and what they was doing. Okay? So you get to see what they were doing. If they was making ugly faces or kissing when they wasn't supposed to, like some of them kids be doing, we catch you on our photo booth. But check us out at www.thekirkbooth.com, and we're going to bring the owner, the executive, we're going to bring him up here, the producer that can build, make whatever you want. God has given him the vision to do these photo booths and design these t-shirts. The one and only Emmanuel. Woo! Yes. And if you look at his shirt, turn around. And on this shirt it has the Talk of Life Talk Show. We even do that as well. This is my son, Dr. Carlos, my firstborn. God is with me all the time.
Amen.
We call him Emmanuel. But anyway, thank you again. Thank you so
Thank you for the
much.
opportunity.
Yes.
Yes.
And we appreciate you coming. Y'all, please go out and vote for Dr. Carlos Walker. What are you running for again?
State Representative, House District 97.
And that includes what district?
That includes Crowley, Southwest Fort Worth, Benbrook, and White Settlement.
Okay, if you all are in those areas, you need to definitely go out and vote. Check him out on the carloswalker.com, right?
That is correct.
All right. Okay, and if you have time, maybe you can get a chance to watch it, go back on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. Y'all go back and watch it. You got anything else to say?
No, I don't. Thank you for the opportunity. I really
You're welcome.
appreciate it, yes. And get out and vote.
There you go. Get out and vote. Watch us every Monday and Thursday, 8 p.m. on the Talk of Life Talk Show with Elma. That includes Kimberley, Linda, Jerome, and Larry on the first Mondays. Right, the first Monday, right? We
Yes.
have Talk Business with Larry
Larry
Kim.
Kim.
So we send a shout out to everyone. May God bless you and keep you until we see you face to face.
Good night, Helen.
Thank
Good
you all for
night.
watching. Go out and vote.
Take it
Vote.
easy.
Vote. Dr. Carlos Walker. Vote, vote, vote. Bye-bye.
For sure, know what I mean for cheesy. I don't be outside, I be in the word. I don't be outside, I be in the